Yo, what's up guys? Showcasing a dungeon team. Old guildie of mine, Dio, asked me, do you want to showcase my dungeon team on Giants? I was like, what's so special about it? Well, it runs pretty fucking fast. So that is the main thing. So we have seen Zeraths before. Zerath Deb's. I have maybe showcased this team similar before, but just kind of want to showcase this kind of stuff again. It is pretty interesting to see how it does work, and I would say that this is also the recommended way to run it. Except that I will maybe change a few things here and there, but that's your Giants team right there. That was 15 seconds. That's the main thing. It runs 15 seconds to about 16 seconds all the time. It's just insane. So let's look at this team once again. I had it on one single battle. Now I have it on 10 times battle, but whatever. We're just gonna look at it 10 times battle. So this is kind of the point where your loading screens are longer than your actual match itself, which is pretty freaking insane though. It just does an insane amount of damage. I am curious to see if this team would be any faster if you had an Uldong. I'm not sure if a Luna could one-shot on a Uldong or let's say double shot, because I think that is possible for the final boss for a Luna to go skill 3, skill 2. I think with an Uldong instead of the Lin, it would be possible. Like killing the middle boss is definitely possible. Getting a second turn on the final boss, I think would be possible as well. So that's just pretty darn insane, man. This is just so freaking much damage. And I would say that the Zerath is pretty optimized. The Luna is pretty optimized. But I would say the Prilia isn't optimized at all. The Lin is optimized, but I still think that a Homunculus is a lot better than the Lin. Only difference is, which he does mention, which is true, you can build a Lin on whatever crit damage and then you're already good to go. You don't really need any good specific sets with high attack and that kind of stuff. But if your Prilia does miss armor breaks, a Homunculus is a lot better, because if you haven't been using the Homunculus yet, Homunculus is just a really great failsafe, whereas the Homunculus might not always full kill from that position on. So those are the two kind of different things in there, but man, this is just doing so much damage. I really do want to see if anyone has a team that's faster than this, and I think the only way that you can get faster than this is a Zerath, a Deborah, and a Uldong. If you have those 3 units and good runes, like good enough runes to make it work, let me know on Discord or something like that. But just let me know in the comments. Discord is the easiest way. I always do check that. But man, this is just doing so much damage. Okay, so this one is if it takes a little bit longer where the Lin doesn't go for the right skill. And therefore, I always do recommend to max tune out all of your units, for the Prilia to do the maximum amount of damage, the Deborah to do the maximum amount of damage to move in tune, which in this case he didn't do, but it's not going to get to that point too often. Sure, then it's at 30 seconds, so it can even be speed up on the average, but he did show me an average of like pretty much 16 seconds, which is also the one that I used from the thumbnail. That's what he sent me, but this is just so insane. And I do think for this you need pretty decent runes on your Zerath. So after this run, let's look at the runes and let's see where it could be improved, and let's see where it is already like super sick, because you're definitely gonna need some good runes to do this. It's not that like, oh, you happen to have a simple Zerath plus a Deborah, you can start running 15 seconds all the time. You need a little bit more than just that. So let's look at those runes. Starting off, first of all, Zerath. That is a good amount of crit damage. Wow, that is a lot of crit damage for that amount of HP as well. That's a 24 plus a 26 over there, plus flats. The flat HP is kicking in, lots of flats everywhere. This one could be a little bit... No, this one is actually not that great. This one, decent, pretty good. This one, actually, okay. It seems somewhat... Okay, this one is really good though. This one is pretty interesting for this, plus even the flat HP on it. Helps out a lot, 19. Doesn't even have HP. It is the best one he has, probably, and it already kills. I'm not too sure, like, if he doesn't have... Yeah, okay, the difference is really big. That's why he's using that one. It is very understandable. And then also CD more. Wow, this one is really good. This one is insanely good. Wow, this... It doesn't really get much better than this. You could literally get 1 crit damage in here better. Or can you? Yeah, you can get 1 crit damage in there better for an 18. And then 2 in here, and then 1 in here. So... This is pretty much absolute closest to the maximum amount of crit damage you get on a 3. Very good artifact right there. But runes-wise, pretty good, pretty good. This thing I did notice is just the enhance plus fight. But you could max this out as well to move at the plus 4 or 54. Yeah, plus 54. And then also make it crit damage. So in the case that it doesn't kill anything, you still have the backup for the kill, and then you also put damage on water artifacts on it. Same for this thing, it's also enhanced. I think he uses quite a bit of enhanced runes to make this work, where he doesn't need any shield runes, or he doesn't need anything else, so I think that is probably the best way to do it, if you have those enhanced runes. This one also is not maxing on crit rate. I would recommend to max that on crit rate. It is still damage on water, but it's also... Doesn't he have higher on damage water, just this? 17. I would absolutely use that one over this defense thingy. That is for sure, but that is me. And then for the Luna, we have Luna that's somewhat similar looking like my Luna, I would say. Damage on water, 18, pretty nice. Skill 3 first. Yeah, he mostly does skill 3 anyways. It's not really about the skill 2 on that thing anyhow. Runes, pretty solid. I think it's pretty similar to the Luna that I have. And then for the Lin, it's also pretty hefty on the crit damage. This thing, you don't even have to go attack. You could literally go anything, but I think that is probably his second highest. Does make sense. Does make sense. And then also crit damage 3. This artifact is not that great. It's just this one, which is not a bad line, but it's not a combination of lines. So definitely interesting to see. He did also tell me that he does have a Jara. And for Jara, you actually lower this rune requirements by a lot. Let's see if he has his Jara runed up at the moment. Oh, he has it over here. The Jara is not runed up, but he did tell me I was allowed to switch some runes. Okay, because I'm not entirely sure how much I would need for the enhanced runes, because of course it's not my account. We're just gonna be lazy and put the runes of Prilia over on the Jara. I think I would need to speed up the Jara by just a little bit over then, because it wouldn't have enough. 60, I think that might be right over there. So let's see how this would work out. You are, of course, by the mercy of the Jara landing its armor break, which is a lot lower rate than the Prilia itself, which does make this worse, but I just want to see... Okay, there we have the first film that already right away. You could actually make this team... Could you make this team with a failsafe? You could. If you make your Deborah, because I'm not sure if the... with the branding... why are you not landing your shit? Because you could make the Deborah move in front of the Lin and therefore have that as a failsafe. Also, just the cleanse of the Zyros is just so nice. Or not the Zyros, the Zerath. Wish I was a Zyros. Would have made things a lot easier. Then I could run this. But the Zerath, I don't have. Okay, so this is definitely why you don't want to run that. I made a video about it before. At least I talked about it in a video before. Shouldn't a unit like the Jara or just pretty much any unit in PvE have 100% activation rate if there are 100% accuracy? I feel like they should, because it just makes things so much more chill for a lot of things. Plus, it's PvE. Who really cares about PvE? Does that one shot? Yeah, that does one shot. Wow, that's really insane. So if you would use this with an Ildong, it would definitely always one shot. Okay, can this one shot? Doesn't necessarily one shot. Okay, interesting. But wait, why we did that? Do less damage this time. Oh, you did go for a skill 2. That is why. Okay. So you still need a lot of damage to make that work. I think with the Jara and the Ildong, you could make it one shot all the time. I think that is very possible. Plus, you need a lot less enhanced runes then, because your unit is just going to be one-shotting that all the time. So that would definitely be a way. But yeah, since you can't really depend on the Jara, you have to use a Prilia in the first place. And branding in the end is pretty nice, but with a team like this, it is not even that much of an upgrade. But wow, this team is really insane. I really wonder if there's anyone with a faster team than this out there. Or, well, than the Prilia version, of course. I'm also really curious, is there anyone that has like a sub 20-second team average for dragons? Because I think making dragons team to like around 20-second average is doable, but anything faster than that, you need a Zerath. But I've never seen a Zerath player actually do make it work. So that is pretty interesting to see over there. It's like sub 15 seconds on this. It's just so incredibly fast. But for all the Jara owners out there, sure, Jara is usable right now in a bunch of PvP things. I always felt like Jara, the only buff it needed was to guaranteed land those things in PvE. There are a bunch of units, for example, in Chronicles, where they hit on PvE, they just have extra effects. And I think that there should just be for units like, oh, if you hit a creature, then you should do blah, 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 extra damage or always land things. And I think for making PvE more consistent, I think it would definitely not be a bad thing. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. Last time I mentioned it, I think it was on the SF video. A lot of positive comments on that one. A lot of people said like, yeah, we actually, why are we not having like, if it always lands like this, it's just perfect, right? It's just super nice. This is exactly what you want to see. But yeah, come to us for some reason is like, nah, we like the RNG in there, even in PvE. And sure, keep the RNG in Siege. Sure, keep it. What is this actually? That picture, I've never seen it. I should pause on that one, but is that something special, or is that just like the new picture for Giants Abyss Heart that they added in with the patch of today? Because that thing looks hella badass, actually, by the way. Wait, are we gonna see that again? I actually don't know what it is. Because it just looks like an Artemis sitting on like a dead giant boss or something, but that's dark as fuck. Is that for some kind of next patch? Because it looks different than this. No, it's just that thing again. Okay, we're just gonna keep talking until we get that thing again. So, yeah, it is pretty curious to see if they're actually going to change anything like that. Because now you see the Jara, just like the first run, it was not performing at all, and now it's like keeps performing all the time, which is just exactly the way you would like to see it. Man, I need a Zerath. I need a Zerath, man. If I had a Zerath, I would definitely give it a try on the Dragon's team as well. It would also make me that I can never really... Yeah, this one. Okay, that's... I've never seen that picture. Looks badass as fuck, though. Like, I'm not sure. It just shows a line about the crafting, but it does have some dark vibe to it. It's like, yo, that thing is like hella slain and shit. I'm not sure if that's maybe some hints towards a new patch. Could be? I don't know. Well, you can freeze the video with the moment that that thing happens by 40.6 seconds. This is just way too freaking fast, man. It is way too freaking fast. Like, all of those runs are just 14, 15s. Like, it's averaging, except for that 42 at the start. It's just that 42 at the start that ruined it. And then I would even say that there's a few improvements here and there you can make on this team, but it's really interesting. The reason that the Deborah is pretty slow, which does make sense, is that the Luna has a chance to go for a skill 3 into a skill 2. The case that the, what's it called? The Lin doesn't really do its a perfect skill, but yeah. With one, like, failed on 42 seconds, it's still, like, averaging crazy fast. I'm pretty sure, like, if we didn't have that one, we would have been looking at, like, sub 15-second average. That is just absolutely insane. But then again, count to us. If you make it easier for us to farm, you're making more money on crystals. Ain't that the deal? I think that's kind of the deal. So, guys, let me know what you guys think about no RNG in PvE. That is only PvE, so that's not including TOA, hell, TOA, like whatever other nonsense TOAs they like to add to it. No Siege, no RTA. It is just for PvE dungeon farming, because that is the only way that we could actually make a very good SF team. Because SF, in the end, if you want to run this thing fast, it's still going to be horrible. This thing, you are also kind of on the best team by the mercy of your units using the right skills. You could also say like, oh, why should not Lucian always use his third skill in PvE kind of things? I think that would make it very easy. Because if that would be the case, everyone could be building a team like this fairly easily, I would say. Actually, super easily, because you can just Lucian every of the dungeon waves that way, and then just go for these kind of units next to it, well, with Aprilia for most people, but then everyone will be running 15-second average in Giants, probably also even in Dragon. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. I think it's somewhat realistic that they maybe do like a removing the RNG if you are max accuracy. I don't think they will make everything perfect there. That would be probably a little bit too easy, but let's see what they're gonna do. And if they're gonna do anything, probably they're gonna do nothing. But either way, the picture there was freaking badass. Well, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab, which has the dungeon guide archive and the video guide archive, which contains all of the guides that you need. Hope to see you there.